Hey everybody, it's Phil from Zaid Comics. I am the co-creator and writer of Magic Cop, which is coming out in August on Indiegogo. Big graphic novel, and I am just one half of the two best-looking brothers in all of comics. And today we're doing a comic review of a series that I've been reading since I think they did the new team in like issue 22, and it is the Teen Titans out of Rebirth. So this is the new team. So we have, Damian Wayne, Crush, who is Lobo's daughter, and really the reason that I jumped on where I did, because it's a new character, and I'm a huge Lobo fan, as you can see these, figures here. And Red Arrow is on it. Roundhouse, who's a new character, and another new character, Jin, who's really cool. She's a genie chick, and Kid Flash, Wallace West. Um, so this is issue 30, and I wanted to highlight this one because what happens towards the end, and if you've seen the title, you know what happens. This is my most anticipated moment that was going to happen in this series. But the series is basically, most of it is like a segue book, not the series, but this specific issue is a segue book in this big crossover they had with the Deathstroke series. A few issues ago, Robin had captured and taken down Deathstroke and had been hiding him in this prison that they have under their hideout. It's like Robin's criminal prison where when he captures a bad guy, he puts him away for good so they can't break out of jail. So he has his own prison that the other team doesn't know about. Over this series, Red Arrow finds out about it, and she's apprehensive about it with Robin. And basically, the other villains in the last issue had broken out, and they had a big fight, ending up with Deathstroke's seemingly demise by a shot to the eye that Red Arrow, shot him with an arrow. So all of that build-up and tension comes to a head in this issue with a big argument between the teammates. So it's a lot of drama, and this issue, like I said, it's a segue issue. It kind of speaks on all that drama as we go through the pages here. Um, some of the heroes on the team want the prison to stay the way it is. They want to keep these villains locked up for good. That being Robin and Red Arrow, and the rest of the team, they think they shouldn't. We should give them off to the police. But then again, they're just going to go right back out on the streets. And then Jin thinks it's very inhumane, and it just finally, ultimately pitting the heroes against each other. Robin her seemingly has a crush on Jin and has for a while, but also Crush is crushing on Jin. In the last issue I read of Titans, it was Titans 29. Crush actually comes out as being gay to Roundhouse, which I thought the dialogue in there on that issue was kind of iffy. I think they could have done it in a more childish way because they are kids. Roundhouse is the jokester of it. They could have played that part up a little bit more when having that reveal to Roundhouse. But we've found out that Crush, she likes women in one of her mini stories in an anthology that happened a little bit back. I think it was the Space and Love anthology that DC put out a couple months ago. So that's been known, and she's crushing on Jen. They had a kiss in the last issue, but now she really feels territorial with Jin because she has these feelings for her. And when Robin is trying to stop Jin from freeing the prisoners, she gets ticked off and attacks Robin. And this sets off a chain reaction throughout the team, and they all start fighting each other for different reasons. So Roundhouse has some animosity towards Kid Flash, how he thinks he's his bro, but he was keeping the secret of the prison, the underground prison, from him. And He didn't like that, so they start fighting. Jin is going to set everyone free, and Arrow doesn't want that, so they start fighting. And you get this kind of cool splash page where they're fighting and breaking through the walls of Mercy, the Mercy house here that their base is in, and a really cool shot of Robin kicking Crush in the face, and then everyone's like, why? You know, Jin comes down, she's like, stop this fighting, this is ridiculous, or else. And you know, it stops for a second, and then a giant explosion happens. Boom, the rubble is everywhere, and this is what I've been waiting for. Crush gets up and she says, you know, who? And she gets grabbed by the throat. That's right, sweetheart. Daddy's home. Lobo is back, and it's a great way to end this kind of, you know, the rest of the issue was very stagnant in action. You have like a bunch of pages that is just straight dialogue, and that in comics could it's not very energizing, and it could get the reader, you know, a little stagnant in their reading, you know. And then they have the big face off between the teammates, gets a little pump more energy up. But this cliffhanger is probably the best cliffhanger in this series so far, because man, what are they going to do with Lobo? Why is he here? And how did he know about this home that the Teen Titans are staying in, their base of operations? And you can see him here. He looks, you know, he looks how DC has been portraying Lobo since the Rebirth. He was in the Justice League Justice League of America book, which I read. You know, I gave it a chance. I didn't like it. I don't think they utilized Lobo correctly. I don't even know why he was on the team, because the reasoning to have that team is Batman put together a team that was relatable to humans. So they pick an intergalactic, you know, immortal bounty hunter to put on that team. So that was really weird. I don't think DC's utilizing Lobo to his fullest potential like he was used in the 90s. I think you should have a miniseries right now with some of the original creators, or someone that just like has a passion for the character and wants to stay true to how he was in the 90s, and you make that your mature non-PC book, like Blood. You do it mature like they did in the 90s. He could be used very well in teen books, like he was used in the early 90s Justice League International, and he could be thrown in there. And I hope that Adam Glass uses him very well, because dealing with some of his backstory, he's going to be meeting his daughter for seemingly the first time, and I'm excited to see what they're doing with him. He's not as jacked as I'd like. You know, I'm used to, and I'm partial to the ripped out of his mind, bulky, you know, Simon Bisley Lobo. He doesn't have the dreads like we've seen Alex Horley give him in the past, and in other forms of media he's had dreadlocks. He's got the cigar though, and you know, he's looking good. And I love, you know, this last line, Daddy's home. So we're going to see what's going to happen in the next issue. I fell off this book a little bit, but I got an awesome tip off from a friend that he's coming back in this issue. So I picked up the past 3 issues that I missed, and this is getting me hyped for it. So the Segway book, you know, weak towards the beginning, but it did explain a lot of dialogue. A big bang at the end, and then now we're going to go into a new arc and see where that takes us. So if you guys like this video, you know, hit the notification button so you know when we are putting out new videos. Pound that like button, it really helps us a lot. And comment. What do you think about Lobo and him being back and him meeting his daughter for the first time in this series? And if you guys aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We are trying to build this fan base to put out awesome videos for you guys talking about our comics, some mainstream comics, and everything in geek news. So yeah, if you like the video, do that, and thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time.